I'm walking by, I know the
You know
truth.
what? It's really, really special for me because even just the word soul encompasses so much of blackness, so much of where my music comes from, so much of what I feel. So I'm just really excited to be a part of this. To just even say that I'm a nominee ever is just really amazing. And one thing that's been really exciting for me, especially this time around, is just that my songwriting and artist nomination is at the same time, which has been one of the reasons why I look up to someone like Smokey Robinson, or idols like The Dream, who can simultaneously do both, have this great artist career and songwriting, and Quincy, like there's no limits to them, and so I really look up to them for that. And so this just kind of validates me in ways that I've always wanted to be validated, as both a performer and a songwriter, and it just feels for really, me. I think songwriting starts in life. So a lot of times maybe people would consider that you really sit down and you write the song, right there in the studio. But I do feel like there's little mental notes that you take just living your life and your experiences that become songs. So I think even living is songwriting to me. But the actual process for me is I like to start from scratch. I prefer not to just get a bunch of tracks. I love working with live musicians. So I love for them to play like one sound and leave it empty enough for me to choose where to fill in with my melodies. And then we just kind of go back and forth and tag team. It's a really collaborative process. It's really like a conversation for me. And then I'll just go back in and add harmonies and embellish and do all of the things later, and then it becomes whatever. I think both of them have their pros. Songwriting feels a little bit more introspective. Performing feels like you want to give all of your energy outward. So, and I think you do need both. You breathe, inhale, and exhale. So I think that's songwriting and performing for me. But I do love the energy. I miss the energy of live performances. So especially right now, I'm craving a million songs. It took a lot. It took a lot of trial and error, discovering who I am as a person, who I am as a woman, what I want to stand for and speak about and be unapologetic about. So I think what you're hearing is just me being grown. I've been doing this for a really long time, in the shadows and kind of behind the scenes. So I think maybe sometimes when people hear me for the first time, they think that, oh, she's just, this outspoken, brave person sexually. But really, if you go, dig back into my first few records, it would feel different. And I think that's just the progression of my womanhood. I'm sure that'll probably change as well as I grow and want to discuss different matters. But for some reason, I was feeling dominant sexually. So I just wanted to explore that and kind of juxtapose that with the softer voice that I have and the beautiful melodies that are that the instruments surround me with. Just kind of mix the words. Yeah, I actually do produce. I do vocal produce, and then I've done some production within my own work as well, just as far as arranging strings, like telling musicians what notes I want to play. So it's not technically anything that, like, I'm not playing the MPC and playing chords, but I do feel like I do produce my music. But I do foresee even more of that, even outside of my own work. But vocal production has been a lot of fun for me. I love working with different vocalists and working on Pro Tools and arranging things that way. It kind of makes me feel like I'm a nerd. You just kind of geek out on the computers and do fun stuff and wear glasses and just go there with it. So I'm excited for more of that too. I have a Jaguar Part 2 and 3. So the pressure's on to deliver, of course, because this response was really good for Jaguar Part 1. But the sequels would then complete my entire project and make the full body of work Jaguar. So that's going to be rolling out in 2021. I have something special coming for the end of this year for the holidays, just as a gift to the fans. So I'm excited to give that to everyone. And the rest, I feel like Jaguar really takes up a lot of my energy. And so I want to put all of that into my 2021 rollout, creating amazing content, making sure I can see people. I'm excited to see if we can actually tour next year, because I would love to tour the project. So depending on what that looks like, that may be in the works for 2021 as well.
Spectacular Magazine. We on the scene.